I just learned the truth about my abusive mom at 30, and now everything makes sense. I found out about 2 hours ago. I am literally months away from turning 30, and right now it feels like the ground beneath me has cracked open. Everything I thought I knew about my childhood, about my mom, and about the way my family worked has just shifted. Growing up, my mom was abusive to my siblings and me. That's not easy to write, but it's the truth. I've spent years, hours in therapy, journaling, crying, unpacking, trying to find closure, and some kind of explanation for why she was the way she was. She was unpredictable. She had these mood swings that, as a child, I could never make sense of. One minute she would be fine, the next she would explode over something small. She would forget to feed us for hours while she played games or chatted with strangers online. I remember waiting at the door for my dad to come home after 14-hour shifts, not because I missed him, though I did, but because he was the one who would finally feed us. He was exhausted, but at least he made sure we ate. My mom acted like a teenager trapped in an adult's body. If you upset her, she'd withhold love, sulk, or lash out. Christmas was always a nightmare. She'd spend hundreds of dollars we didn't have, shower us with gifts, and then by January she'd be furious that her account was negative. She made Christmas so stressful that it took me years as an adult to stop hating the holiday. There were rules that felt impossible. She'd give us 10 minutes to clean the entire house and then beat us when the timer went off, and it wasn't perfect. I wasn't allowed to make my bed with a single wrinkle. She'd scream over spilled drinks, over things kids should have been allowed to mess up. That fear never really left me. My grandparents and my uncle, her only brother, knew. That's what I found out today. They knew about the abuse. They knew what she was like. Apparently, the reason they stopped by every once in a while was just to make sure we were still alive. That was the bar. Not safe, not fed, not loved, just alive. But what about all the hours in between? What about the countless times she snapped? Or the nights we went to bed hungry? What about the fear that made me and my siblings hide under the table if we dropped a glass? My dad's sister once saw us do that. She didn't know the truth, but she saw the way we flinched and hid like cornered animals. She called CPS after that, and years later she admitted to me why. Meanwhile, the people who actually knew everything, who should have stepped in, decided that checking in was enough. I feel guilt tangled with rage. My siblings and I never had a mom. We had her. She wasn't nurturing or protective. She was unhinged, unreliable, and cruel. I used to think her mental abuse had stunted her emotionally, that maybe she was stuck in some permanent state of arrested development. She was the child and we were the adults. Because of that childhood, I have trust issues so deep I can feel them in my bones. I've been clawing my way through therapy to heal them, and I thought I was making progress. But today, I feel like I just got knocked 10 steps back. Because here's what I just learned. My mom wasn't just abusive. She wasn't just mentally ill. She had a traumatic brain injury as a teenager, something no one thought to tell me until now. When my mom was 16 or 17, she fell off a horse. The accident was catastrophic. Her skull was crushed. She was pronounced brain dead and spent months in a coma. Eventually, she woke up, but she was never the same. Doctors gave her paperwork outlining what her life would look like from then on. A permanent need to chase dopamine, mood swings when she couldn't find it, erratic behavior. Less than a year later, she met my dad. And less than a year after that, I was born. And no one told me. Not my grandparents. Not my uncle. Not my dad, who has known since last fall. I'm almost 30, and I only know now because my grandparents finally admitted it to my sister, who called me immediately afterward. Do you know what it's like to spend your whole life hating someone for the abuse they put you through, only to find out decades later that part of the reason was something they couldn't control? I don't even know how to process it. I've built my entire adult identity around the fallout of my mom's behavior, therapy, boundaries, learning how to function despite her. And now I'm wondering, how much of my anger was justified? How much was misplaced? How much of what she did was her, and how much was the injury? And on top of that, I'm terrified. I have a 2-year-old son. My mom and her boyfriend have babysat him before. I thought it was safe because I always had them do it at my place with cameras so I could check in. I thought she was making progress. I thought maybe she could be trusted in small, limited ways. But now, knowing all of this, I feel like I betrayed my son by putting him at risk. I keep replaying it in my head. All the times I thought, maybe she's getting better. All the times I thought, maybe we'll make it through this tunnel and come out into the light. But it's not a tunnel. It's a dead end. There is no better version of my mom waiting on the other side. I have an urgent appointment with my therapist on Thursday. I'm holding it together for my son, but inside I'm crumbling. How do you not find out something like this about your own mother until you're nearly 30? How did no one think it was worth telling me? And the worst part? It makes perfect sense. Suddenly, so many things I couldn't explain about her add up. But now I don't know how to hold all of this. I don't know how to reconcile my justified anger at the abuse with compassion for the injury. Update: digging into my mom's family explains a lot. I'm already almost no contact with them, and after this I know I'll never expose my son to them. My uncle is one of the most toxic, aggressive narcissists I've ever met. My husband and I visited his house once after our son was born and left feeling like we weren't wanted there. I grew up feeling unwanted. I refused to let my son experience that. My grandparents, especially my grandfather, seem to be sharing now because he was diagnosed with cancer and it keeps coming back. Last year, he even called my dad to apologize for pawning his brain-injured daughter off on him. That's how my dad found out. He carried that knowledge for a year without telling me. So here I am, almost 30, a mom myself, and suddenly everything about my own mother looks different, yet nothing is truly changed. She's still who she is. The abuse still happened. The scars are still here. But the reason behind it feels like a secret I should have known my whole life, and now that I finally do, I don't know what to do with it.